So this is my brand new wireless mouse that I just bought. It's a Razer Viper Ultimate. This also comes with the charging stand, I believe. Yep, right there. And I bought this because my previous mouse, the Logitech G305, which was a first gen, had developed a horrible double clicking issue only after a few months of use. Fortunately, I was able to get a replacement. However, that replacement started to have double clicking issue in less than 3 months, which is a horrible failure rate for a $150 gaming mouse, okay? So I had to get rid of the G903 and I bought a G305, and I think this mouse actually uses the Omron switch instead of the cheap Chinese switch that they had used for the clickers on the higher end mouse. So I really don't understand Logitech's logic on why they would use cheaper switch on their higher end gaming mouse and actually had better switches on the G305. Okay, so this mouse really didn't give me any issues, and it actually uses the Hero sensor, which had an amazing battery life. It lasts me for like a month of use, and it's like I use my computer every day. This mouse lasts a long time, okay? However, the shape of the G305, it's really too small for my hand, and I really just enjoy a bigger mouse. So I went to Best Buy and I was trying around on different shapes of the mouse, and this Razer Viper actually, I was trying the wired version. That mouse actually felt amazing in the hand. So I just decided and I went ahead and I was like, why not? Let's just buy the wireless version to see if this is gonna work better than the G903, which I really enjoyed before the double clicking issue. And that's the reason I bought this mouse. So today we're gonna just open it up and I'm gonna try it out for the first couple of days and then give you guys a final update on what I think about the shape or the performance of this wireless gaming mouse. Okay, so again, it's probably the best gaming mouse you can get at this price range. Their closest competitor or their equivalent competitor is the G903 second gen. This one features their in-house, I guess, Focus Plus optical sensor, hyperspeed wireless connectivity, which is just as fast as the Logitech G903 in terms of response time, okay? And it's super lightweight, 74 grams. That's like I was surprised when I got this mouse. The box was so light, and so let's just take it out and try it for ourselves. Okay, the really nice charging stand. So I opted in for the one with the charging stand because it looks nicer and it just looks cooler. It's a $15 price difference. In my opinion, I would say just get the charging stand, and it also works as a nice wireless receiver. So you can have the mouse closer to your receiver, which further reduces the response time. Okay, so I believe there is a LED lighting on the bottom base of the charging stand, but we're gonna leave this aside. And here is the mouse, and oh my god, it's so light. It's so light. The G305, because it has to use a AA battery, it's fairly heavy, okay? So it's definitely not a light mouse. So if you use it for a long time, it definitely feels like there's more drag in terms of, gaming experience compared to this. Oh my God, it's so light. And the shape, again, because I tried it personally before I bought it, this is the shape that I really love and enjoy. It just fits my palm very nicely. Compared to this, it's very empty. So this is good for, I guess, kind of a claw grip if you like gaming like that. But for me, I love palm gripping, and this just feels perfect. Feels like a glove. So right off the bat, I'm gonna say I have a really good feeling about the Razer Viper Ultimate. So I'm gonna set up everything and plug it in, and then we're just gonna start using it. And at the very end, I'm gonna come back and give you guys a general impression on how the mouse feels after a couple days of use. Before I close down this section, let's just do a close-up. It definitely looks great. I really love this rubbery gripping area. It feels much better in terms of gripability, and it's textured. It's so nice compared to the G305 I have. As you can see, the shiny area is the area that I, again, use for the most part. And I think the grip definitely helps in getting a more precise aiming during gaming. So the G305 has only one side that had a clickable button. On the other side, as you can see, I'm left-handed. It doesn't have any button here. For the Viper Ultimate, it actually has 2 buttons on each side, which is really nice. The buttons are actually more recessed, so in terms of clicking it, it's definitely a little bit harder to click compared to the Logitech counterpart. So I guess people really have to get used to that. I usually, during gaming, I use this button for voice. So again, I'm just using like this finger to press that voice button, and over here I think it's a little bit harder to press for sure. So in terms of voice, I have to get used to pressing the side buttons. The clicking is definitely slightly more mushy compared to the Logitech. However, it's a very affirmative clip, okay? Affirmative click, and it doesn't sound bad. It also just, feels good, feels very good in the hand. The most important part is the end area, like over here, it fits my palm very nicely. With the Logitech, as you can see, it's mostly empty in my hand, which makes it harder to aim for me personally. So definitely a huge improvement, I guess, because of the size. Look at the size difference. So I definitely prefer a larger mouse compared to a smaller one. And in terms of the height profile, I guess the G305 is very slightly higher than the Razer Viper. So I got so excited describing the mouse, and I forgot to actually open the box fully. So in the box, there is a braided USB charging cable wire, and you have your receiver already attached to the top of the USB cable, which we just gonna pull off and actually let's find the receiver. Okay. Oh wow, I'm totally blown away by the weight of the mouse. It's so light, and the crazy thing is, actually the receiver was not even took off yet. The receiver was hidden in here, so the receiver itself is also super light. Oh my god, this mouse is so light. It's probably one of the lightest mouse I've ever used. So let's just plug the receiver into the charging area, and we're gonna unhook the cable and just put the charger over here. So anytime I need to charge, I can just, let's see, I need to aim it. So one thing that's kind of downside is because my monitor the height is not adjustable, so I have to leave it somewhere else, probably there, so I can charge it. But yeah, in terms of charging, it shouldn't be hard at all, because you just leave it here, and it's like a small magnetic. It hooks it in, and it just starts charging. Okay, so let's get started. So I just plugged in the dock using the included USB cable, and again the receiver is already attached. When I plugged into my machine, it actually automatically detects both the charging dock as well as the receiver. By the way, this LED light looks great at the bottom. So I am gonna turn on the mouse for the first time ever. And you can see the laser light working in there. By the way, you're not gonna be able to see this unless it's on the camera, because this is like an invisible wavelength to the human eye. But the camera was able to see the kind of reddish light. Okay, so over here there is a green light, I guess, that indicates the mouse is on. So let's give it a try. Wow, it already feels great. Interestingly, when I pull this up, it actually automatically detects this and installs a driver itself. And without me ever hitting any button, this thing pops up and asks me to install the Razer gaming software. I already had the Logitech gaming software because obviously, as you can see, I still have a Logitech keyboard and I have some other Logitech periphery devices. But now that means I have to have two different kinds of gaming software installed on my desktop, which, you know, it's a hassle, to be honest. I kind of wish everything's universal. So, or like, so let's just go ahead and install the gaming software, and we're gonna start from there. Yeah, I remember it's called Razer Synapse, when I had their left-hand gaming mouse a while back. The crazy thing is it's got a whole bunch of those modules that you can customize and install. It's crazy, and even Alexa is is enabling here, but again, I'm not gonna use that. So we're gonna just install the Synapse software because we can fully customize the mouse. And from what I read in some other reviews, that you can simply just uninstall this software once you have all the settings adjusted to your liking. So that's at least a good part. And we're gonna start download and install the software. So after about a day of use and a little bit of the light gaming, I would like to tell you guys what I think about the Razer Viper Ultimate. So first thing first, yesterday night after I did my first part of the review, I actually put it on the charger over here and just charged it overnight. I got full charge of 100%. And today I was using it pretty much most of the day. And at the end of the day, the battery was showing about 90% left, or 88%. So it used about 12% of the battery for the day. And based on this rate, let's calculate really quick. So it should last you well over a week of daily use. So about 8 days, depending on your usage. So for me, it's probably gonna last me more than 8 days without ever charging it. The cool thing about the dock is, and I would also highly suggest you get the version with the dock, because first thing first, this LED lighting looks really, really cool. Second thing, is really easy to put it on there and charge. And with the dongle, also you can have your receiver much, much closer to your mouse for best performance possible in terms of wireless receiving power or transmitting power. And compared to my old Logitech G305, I would say so the question I want to ask myself is, does the Razer Viper Ultimate actually provide me a more accurate aiming experience, or in general overall a better gaming experience? I would say just a little bit more. It is definitely a lot more comfortable to hold during long periods of gaming sessions, and also for actually editing pictures is really, really helpful, because now I can have additional buttons over here to map into my Photoshop for additional quick shortcuts. And also that hyper shift function in the Razer Synapse app. Basically, you assign your hyper shift to one of those buttons over here, and once you press a hyper shift, it switches into a whole set of new buttons. So basically, I can have a customized profile just for my photo editing. Once I hit hyper shift, all those keys gets customized for shortcuts, for copy and paste, maybe for different tools that I can access very quickly, just generally on the mouse without, having to press anything or go move my mouse over to the toolbar and reach those shortcuts. And once you're done with the work and you want to go back into gaming, you can just simply switch your hyper shift button and all the buttons gets, reverted back into, let's say, gaming session buttons. So if you have your voice, if you have your, ultimate charge reports, whatever you want to do, you can all do this on the Razer Viper Ultimate. And for the G305, the customization is really limited because first thing first, it's got 2 buttons only over here that's customizable with a DPI switch button. That's pretty much it. So in terms of getting additional shortcuts, you're not gonna get that. However, in terms of the precision or the accuracy of the sensor, there really isn't much difference. The Razer, the Logitech G305 actually works fantastic as well during gaming sessions, as well as for editing. It's very precise. There's no doubt that today's sensors are just so much more accurate compared to maybe a few years back. So really, you can't go wrong with any of the mouse on the market at this point. It all depends on how much money you want to spend to splurge on the extra features or the additional button sets that you can get for the for your needs, whether it's gaming or you are doing a lot of video editing or graphic editing purpose. So yeah, this mouse right now is about $50 and this one is $150, so about 3 times more expensive. Again, really all depends on exactly what you expect from gaming and the work perspective. So yeah, this one is really convenient to charge and it's very, very light, so you're not gonna get fatigue if you do a lot of movements. For the G305, it's actually quite heavy with the AA batteries inside. I would say it's probably at least 90 to 100 grams with that battery. And if you're using a rechargeable battery, it's probably going to be slightly more heavier because usually those rechargeable batteries are heavier. And in terms of the button press and the longevity of the mouse, so I was just reading online that the Razer Viper Ultimate actually uses a optical clicker. So with that optical clicker, you're not gonna run into that double clicking issue that plagued a lot of other older generations of the Razer mouse, as well as a lot of Logitech mouses currently on the market, namely the G903 that I got, and I also heard the G903 Hero 2nd Gen also have the similar problem with double clicking. So if you want to avoid double clicking, and you probably gonna have a better luck with the Razer Viper Ultimate. I'm not sure if the wired version has the optical clicker as well. I'll double check and post a description on the screen. If it does, then you could save almost half the amount of money to just get the Razer Viper. One last thing I want to talk about is the USB cable over here. So it's braided cable. However, those newer braided cables are actually quite loose. That actually promotes the movement, so you don't feel as much of a drag when you are trying to move your mouse around if you do get the wired version. Okay, so that's just something nice to know. Also, you can have the USB cable directly plugged into the mouse and use it while it's charging. That's definitely an added bonus. For the G305, you cannot do that because there's no USB charging port on the mouse. So that's definitely a plus for the Razer Viper Ultimate. So that pretty much sums up the my quick review of, or not necessarily quick, but my first impression of the Razer Viper Ultimate. If you guys have any questions about this mouse, feel free to ask me in the comment section down below. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching this unboxing and first impression, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care.